Hey folks, Triple T Cat here, recording for the Zombie Arcade as per usual. It sure has been a while, but hello folks, I'm just making this video to talk about Battlefield Hardline's new demo and what I think of it. I'm not gonna call this a beta. I mean, it's still like a month out from release or something, so I'm sure they will change some stuff based on feedback, but let's not kid ourselves. The main point of this thing is to generate hype for the game and promote the game at this stage. I mean, I'm sure they'll change some things, but let's not pretend that's the main function of this thing. So, it's pretty good. Let's just start up. Let's just go right into. Actually, no. What I want to start with by saying is, please do not pre-order this game, please. Just please don't pre-order this game, or like just stop pre-ordering. Anyway, but it's good though. It's just good. I'm not 100% sure whether or not I will buy it. I think after BF4 being so, I mean, it wasn't a terrible game. It was just really, really bland. I don't know. I'm feeling like I might be done with the franchise entirely, but. Hardline does have much more character than BF4, and I mean, so far with this demo, I've had a lot more fun than I can ever really remember having playing BF4. It's much more chaotic and fast-paced than even BF3 and BF4 were, which were already pretty chaotic and fast-paced. And like the maps seem to be generally smaller. There's obviously much more of an infantry focus, since there's not really tanks or like super attack helicopters and stuff like that, because it doesn't fit with the theme. I think this demo, they're fitting much better. Like, they've adjusted the game a lot to stick much better with the theme of cops and robbers than the first demo had. It was one of my complaints at the time, was like, why does everyone have like rocket launchers and heavy machine guns and shit? And they've changed that stuff up a bit so that I mean, it's still pretty ridiculous and over the top, obviously, but I think it fits better with the theme now than it did before, which is nice. It's nice. And this Hotwire, which is the game type you can see me playing here, is a really fun game type, actually. I really like it. It's kind of like Conquest, except the Conquest objectives you have to hold are cars. And in order to get credit for capturing them, you have to keep them over a certain speed. Which is super fun. I don't know, it's like this fast-paced thing where everybody's driving around the map in these cars. It can be a lot of fun. It can be frustrating when people are just ignoring the objectives. It's definitely a game type that the more people play the objectives and play the game type how it's meant to be played, sort of thing, the more fun it is. When people just kind of deathmatch, it gets frustrating, but whatever. I feel like Hardline has embraced much more fully this sort of more fast-paced, Cal on Dutes influence direction the franchise has been going in. You know, like BF3 and BF4. So if you're one of the people who wants to stick with like the supposed slower and more tactical and more sort of strategic nature of Battlefield compared to other online military shooters, Hardline's probably not going to be a game you're going to want to choose, because I mean it's very fast-paced. It moves very quickly. And I think it's good that they finally embraced this, because I think anybody who was telling themselves that Battlefield was a significantly more tactical or like strategic game than the competition after, you know, with BF3 and BF4 was fooling themselves. I mean, it's been obvious since BF3 that the direction they want to go in is more and more fast-paced, more like Cal on Dutes, because they know that's where the big money is from people who can't really pay attention to more slow-paced games. So I mean whatever. And this game has embraced that speed, and I think that that's the right move. I mean, if that's the direction they went in with the gameplay of the franchise, which it has been for the past few iterations, and I'm sure it's the direction EA wants to keep pushing, I think the choice to embrace that fully is smart and benefits this game. It's fast-paced, it's chaotic, but it embraces that spirit, and that makes it a lot more fun. I also think the removal of the heavier tanks and helicopters and stuff makes the game a lot more fun than BF4, where like a lot of times it was just I tend to prefer the infantry combat to driving in tanks and stuff like that. So I think those heavy vehicle elements were much too powerful in BF4, and being on infantry just felt like, well, you were going to be killed constantly by fucking explosions and stuff. And I didn't like that. There's much less explosions and stuff, bullets still kill very fast, very short time to kill from the guns, but at least you're not constantly detonating in rocket blasts, which I like. I'm not a fan of constantly detonating in rocket blasts, so I like that about the game. I like that the whole art direction, and it's a bit more colorful than BF3 and BF4. There's like the music and the cars and stuff. It feels like it's not trying to take itself as seriously as BF3 and BF4, which I felt were both games were overly serious. BF2 was never as silly, and Vietnam and those kinds of games were never quite as silly as the Bad Company franchise, but they still didn't take themselves super seriously. I felt like BF3 and BF4 went too far in that direction. So that's really good. Like, there's a lot positive I have to say about this game. I would prefer it if the time to kill with guns was a little bit longer, but it's not that big a deal. Like, the weapons feel nice. It feels satisfying. The game, the heist map that's included with the beta, I feel like is a little bit too chaotic. Hotwire, both maps in the beta are great fun to play. They work well. I think the heist map is too chaotic. Don't like that. Conquest Large also is, I mean, it's on this map, and I feel like the map is a little bit too small for Conquest Large for 64 players, you know? So, I don't know, but like I said, I think the Hotwire mode's a lot of fun, 32 players. I can see 32-player Conquest, I think, would also be a lot of fun. It's just, as I said, I like that they've embraced the more fast-paced and chaotic nature, the direction the game's been going in lately. But I think it goes a little bit too far in some of those modes. So, I mean, we'll see how that pans out on release. I mean, if I end up buying it, as I said, I'm not 100% sure. There's not a whole lot I have in terms of serious complaints. I don't like the way the cars feel when you're driving them. They sort of stick to the road like glue. They don't feel like they go very fast. It's not terrible, and I can kind of understand why they've made some of the decisions they've made. I mean, if the cars went much faster, then maps would feel smaller, stuff like that. So I can kind of understand it, but I'm not a fan of the vehicle handling. So hopefully, I think the community as a whole has expressed a bit of distaste with that. So hopefully that's going to be something that they're going to try and work on and improve and fix up a bit for release. So I guess my sort of final impressions based on this demo, it's kind of fun. I went from a position where I was sort of saying I am definitely not going to buy this game to, like, I probably won't, because, you know, money's tight, it's going to be expensive. I feel like this should be coming out as, like, a $30 expansion for BF4, because it does, like, there's a lot of stuff that makes the feel of the game different from BF4, but it also feels very samey. I mean, I suppose it's probably going to have quite a lot of maps, but I don't know. I think for people who already own BF4, like, maybe it should be standalone, right? And if you already own BF4, you can get it for cheaper. If you don't own BF4, it costs as much as a full retail game. Something like that. Like, I do think it's a lot more fun than BF4, but at the same time, it feels similar enough that paying full retail price for it again when I already own BF4 and premium and stuff, it feels a little bit greedy to me with how much is reused. I'm kind of curious to see how the single player will be. It looks like they might be doing something a bit more interesting with that than BF3 and BF4, but I mean, we get told that every time with these games, that, like, this time the single player is going to be more interesting, and it's usually not. So we'll see how that pans out on release. But yeah, I'm not feeling super negative about this game. If you want to buy it, then I would say go ahead. I don't think that would be a terrible thing to do. Just please don't pre-order it. I don't like pre-orders. I don't want to get off on a tangent and rant about that. There's a fair bit to like here. Anyway, I think that about covers it. I don't really have anything else to say about this. So thanks for watching, guys, as always. And until next time, Trouble TCat out. And oh, by the way, I'll just plug myself here. It's the first video I made in a while. I've been live streaming almost every day this past week or so. So go to www.twitch.tv/TroubleTCat and follow the live stream if you want to know when I go live. I've been playing Fable Anniversary. That'll be coming up on YouTube eventually. I still have to finish The Evil Within. I just play games, hang out. I like to chat with the people in stream chat, so you can speak to me directly, and I'll probably even speak back. It's always a fun time. I usually get a little bit drunk. It's good. It's good. So you should come and check out the live stream. Another way to find out when I go live is if you join the Steam community group. I don't have the web address here. I'll leave it in the description of this video. If you join the Steam community group for Zombie Arcade, I send out an alert to all the group members every time I start streaming. So if you're on Steam, when I start streaming, you'll see an alert, and then you'll know. This guy got fucking wrecked. Yeah, so check that out. And expect to see more videos coming up. I think the fact that I've been streaming every day, more or less, this past week indicates that I'm getting back into this stuff a little bit more seriously. So expect to see some more stuff coming up soon. Thanks for watching, as always. And now, Trouble T Cat out. For real this time.